Hello, friends, and we're back to keep working on this. I feel like the videos this week have been very workmanlike, which is fine. I say sometimes you just need that. You need that headspace that's just like, I'm gonna just do it. I'm gonna just sit here and do it. If you're like me, I get so much out of drawing. It's like I have difficulty describing it in words. It just makes you feel good. And that's like the weirdest thing, because I get frustrated when I draw sometimes. And it's like it doesn't go the way you want it to, and it doesn't look the way you want it to, and you look at it and you go, I have a title I was working on a piece I was working on a Marakira thing that I did eventually end up figuring out, but I was just trying to draw something to relax, and I got really hung up on this pose that I couldn't hit. For some reason, I decided to draw a really complicated pose when I was trying to relax, and I couldn't figure out how to hit it, and I had like 6 different layers with different attempts at it, and they all sucked. And I saved the file as ThisF Sucks, and it's still on my computer. So there's a file called ThisF Sucks on my computer where I eventually hit a pose. I'm like, oh yeah, that actually looks good, and I felt really good about it. But I kept the file just because it's like this is me getting frustrated beyond my ability to stay positive. But that happens, that happens to everybody. And it's okay, as long as you don't let it spiral you, right? Hades, very shadowy game, moody, atmospheric. Try to maintain that in the way that we shade and color and all that malarkey. We're almost to the really fun part. And if that sounded sarcastic, it shouldn't have. I'm totally serious that we're almost to the really fun part. Coloring is always a wild, magical adventure. Give you a really good example of something that is like something very positive that I've gotten out of the community over the years. Because I never used to think that I was a good colorist, and I never used to think that my coloring was worth anything, and then I didn't do it in my own work. I didn't do it in any of my work. I just felt I wasn't good at it. And I'm still trying to remember exactly what it was that made me want to give it the shot that I did. But everybody's always responded really positively and helpfully to my coloring. And that's made me feel good about myself. You can be a positive force in an artist's life just by saying, like, hey, you're doing a good job, and I like what you do. That's like and look, in reality, the best way to support an artist is to buy something from them. Because artists need money. But in reality, a lot of people don't have the money to spend. And that is just a fact of life. So in a circumstance such as this, it's really valuable to an artist to hear somebody say that they like the work. Specific things about the work, specific characters, specific things about the art style, the coloring, the line work, the expressiveness of the faces perhaps, or the poses, character designs. Anything that you specifically like about a piece, if you say that to an artist, you'll make them very happy. Because I think there's a lot, and I do this all the time, and it's a bad habit where I look at things, look at pieces that artists do, be really impressed by them, and say nothing and scroll away. And I got to get out of that habit, because honestly, to be able to look at something by somebody and go like, wow, that actually had an impact on me today, that really improved my day today. If I just said that out loud or in text instead of just thinking it in my brain, I might be able to improve somebody else's day too. Something to keep in mind. Please leave comments on my YouTube video. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding though. Leave comments on my YouTube video. Carving out highlights from a gray layer is very zen. Oh, right, the skull. Yeah, whatever. It'll all get done. I do love to draw. And I see a lot of people ask this all the time. People kind of struggling with art on their own, and because everybody's like, don't overwork yourself. Or like, how do you manage to work a day job and still have the energy to draw? And it's like, sometimes you don't have another choice. You know, it's how you relax, if it's what makes you feel good. I'm not going to come home or tell you to come home after a stressful day and be like, no, you can't do your relaxation activity. That's too much additional stress on you. You must relax a different way. I don't know. I'm thinking specifically about a great artist I know, Zenko, who draws Scaleless, which is coming to an end soon. So get up on that, be able to read the whole thing. It's a great manga about Irish mythology, and I don't know if mythology is the right word, but folklore maybe is a better term for what they're addressing there. But she put up a thing that was like forklift all day, drawing all night, and people are saying, no, take care of yourself, don't draw all night. It's like, but that's what I want to do. Don't tell me not to do the thing that I want to do, and I'm right there with her. You forklift all day so you can draw all night. That's the whole point. I keep a timer on to, track these episodes. And you see me check my watch every once in a while, because I'm like, did I remember to set the timer? I have a really bad sense of time and the passage of time, especially when I'm drawing. I watch a lot of shows and movies while I'm drawing because it helps me keep track of like how long I've been sitting at the desk. Autoplay can be your enemy there because you start to lose track of like how much show you've watched. But it's definitely like it's a problem. I friggin' love the old Chainsaw Suit comic, and I don't know if there's any way to still read Chainsaw Suit, which is a real shame. Big fan of Chris Straub. For the life of me, I don't think he does a whole lot of comics anymore. But did a lot of things that I consider to be massive favorites. Chainsaw Suit, of course. Brood Hollow was amazing. Always kind of fingers crossed, hold out hope that he will want to make a return to comics at some point. Chris Straub probably most famous for Candle Cove, that creepypasta, which of course became the first season of Channel Zero. Great mind for horror, Chris Straub. But Chainsaw Suit was a humor strip. And if it's out there somewhere for it to still find, I believe the website's been taken down, but if it's out there somewhere to find, definitely highly recommend reading it. Amazing stuff. One of my favorite strips that he did, and I think it was about, specifically I believe it was about when you're at a diner and the waiter will come up and refill your coffee with black coffee when it's only half empty, thereby throwing off your cream and sugar imbalance. The strip was proposing a solution to this problem, which was, the punchline, of course, was presenting all new, still no solution to this problem. And I think about that a lot when I have problems that I don't know how to solve. It's like, well, we finally figured it out. We've cracked the code, and it's still no solution to this problem. Lines from Chainsaw Suit that have just seeped into my everyday life that people don't even know what I'm talking about. Another favorite is "Don't give up till it's give up time," which is in reference to a stupid character named Riggsy the Oil Rig. It was a BP oil rig. Do you remember the BP oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico? You should. It was a huge ecological disaster, but there was a series of Chainsaw Suit comics about BP having a really lazy response to a lazy PR response to causing this massive ecological disaster, and they created this lovable mascot called Riggsy the Oil Rig, who was an incontinent oil rig who was just trying to do his best, and his catchphrase was "Don't give up till it's give up time." think about that a lot. I really, I owe a lot to webcomics. Because that's really what I came up reading. And I do a lot of shows where they will ask me, like, you know, what's the comic that got you into comics? And usually the answer I give is Hellboy. Because that's like the first printed comic that I really got into in a significant way. But like, what's the first, like, what got me into comics in general? Probably Penny Arcade. Questionable Content was another one that I was a religious reader of. I feel like maybe that still updates, but I have no idea. Rice Boy. Evan Dom's Rice Boy. What a comic. It's a webcomic. And it was like, whoa, this is literature. For free on the internet. You think about like the golden age. I feel like there really was a golden age of just like, I don't know. I'm starting to feel like an old man talking like that, so maybe I'm wrong. You know, there's more good stuff available now for free on the internet than there ever has been in the history of the internet. And even when you talk about like, oh man, think back, Evan Dom, Rice Boy, back in the day. You know, Evan Dom is like still actively creating new, exceptional webcomic series that you can read for free on his website. I got to be on a panel with Evan Dom last year. It was incredible. I was a stupid little fanboy and I was like, yeah, it's Evan Dom. I got to do that through Cartoonist Co-op, which if you're a cartoonist and you believe in creating better labor practices for cartoonists and artists, check out the Cartoonist Co-op. The requirements for membership are surprisingly accessible. It's about mutual aid, and it's about creating a better working environment for everybody who works in cartooning and comics. I'm a member. So is Evan Dom. And that's how I got to meet Evan Dom. We did a fantasy panel together. It was very cool. I believe it's still on YouTube somewhere, on the Cartoonist Co-op YouTube page. Evan Dom was there, I was there. We also had CW Foxfire and CS Garcia Martinez. Great panel. It's like an hour long. It's hosted by Blue Delaquanti. And I really recommend checking it out because we had a blast talking about fantasy stuff. And if you're into fantasy comics, you probably pick up some new cool things to read there as well. That YouTube page, the other fun thing that I've done with them over there is they do drawing streams. They're gonna be doing one for Pride Month, or a series I think for Pride Month. So check those out. Those streams are a lot of fun. All right. So that's gonna be it for today, and I think we're going to call that tone done. Hang on. That's better. All right, ready to call that tone done. And that's the end of the episode today. So we're getting into color next time. Very exciting. Ghost Arm's going to be coming back in a big way. and the rest of the drawing as well. So thanks for joining me, and we'll see you tomorrow.